What's up, Cowboys Nation? NFL Cowboys News, back at it with another update. If you're a die-hard Cowboys fan or just a lover of all things NFL, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss what's coming today. Big news coming from Cowboys front office: they just made a sneaky, yet huge, signing in NFL free agency. I'm talking about none other than Solomon Thomas. That's right, folks, a key defensive move for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's dive in. Alright, let's get right to it. The Dallas Cowboys have officially signed defensive lineman Solomon Thomas in one of the sneakier moves of this free agency period. Now you may be wondering, who's Solomon Thomas, and why should we care? Well, let me break it down for you. For those who don't know, Solomon Thomas was originally drafted as the third overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft by the San Francisco 49ers. Coming out of Stanford, Thomas was touted as a versatile and explosive defensive force. He had all the traits that make scouts salivate: speed, power, and a relentless motor. Now, after bouncing around a bit in his career, he's now made his way to the Cowboys. This signing comes as a bit of a surprise considering how quiet the Cowboys front office has been throughout this free agency period. But honestly, this is a move that could pay off big time for Dallas. Thomas has the potential to bring immediate depth to a Cowboys defensive line that has been looking for consistency since the departure of some key players. Now, the big question on everyone's mind: why did the Cowboys sign Solomon Thomas? Let's break down his game and what he can bring to the table for Dallas. First of all, his ability to play multiple positions along the defensive line is a major advantage. He's played as a defensive tackle, defensive end, and even as a pass-rushing linebacker at times. This kind of versatility is exactly what Dallas needs right now. In the ever-evolving NFL, defenses need to be fluid, adaptable, and capable of shifting personnel and schemes. Thomas fits right into that mold. Let's talk about the Cowboys' current defensive line. With players like DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, and the newly re-signed Dante Fowler Jr., the Cowboys already boast a fearsome front. But here's the thing: Thomas brings another dynamic to the table. In recent seasons, the Cowboys' pass rush has been strong but at times lacked that consistency in the interior of the defensive line. Thomas, when healthy, can be a game-changer when lining up inside, creating pressure in the middle, and forcing quarterbacks to make quicker decisions. Let's not forget, folks, Solomon Thomas is still just 28 years old. He's entering the prime of his career, and after a couple of seasons with the Las Vegas Raiders, he's had a chance to refine his game under some solid coaching. But the big key here is that he comes to Dallas with a chip on his shoulder. After years of underperformance, Thomas is looking to prove that he was worth that third overall pick back in 2017. So, expect him to come out swinging and make an immediate impact in Dallas. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Why does this signing matter? How does it impact the Cowboys' defense as a whole? Let me tell you, it's more than just about adding another player. It's about upgrading and adding depth where it counts. We all know that the strength of the Dallas Cowboys defense last season was their pass rush. Micah Parsons turned heads with his dominance, DeMarcus Lawrence had his moments, and even guys like Fowler and Osa Odigizwa stepped up in big spots. But a key factor that was missing was consistent pressure from the interior defensive line. And let's face it, no defensive line can be truly great without that threat in the middle. Solomon Thomas is that player who can help create that chaos up the middle, forcing quarterbacks to move off their spot or make ill-advised throws. This signing also brings a bit more flexibility to defensive coordinator Dan Quinn's schemes. Quinn is known for his ability to switch things up and create confusion for opposing offenses. Adding a player like Thomas allows him to rotate pieces in a way that keeps the defensive front fresh, while still maintaining a high level of aggression. The Cowboys will now have more options when they want to get creative with their pass rush, whether it's mixing in stunts or playing with different looks on the line. Now, beyond this season, what does this move mean for the long-term future of the Cowboys? Well, the signing of Solomon Thomas is a statement. It shows that Dallas is committed to staying competitive and continuously improving their defense. Let's not forget, the NFC East has been getting tougher, and we know that Dallas wants to build a team that can compete at the highest level, not just now, but in the future as well. The Cowboys have always been known for their star power on offense, but to make a serious Super Bowl run, defense is where they've had to make strides. And let's be honest, as good as Parsons is, he can't do it all alone. Thomas provides a nice complementary piece to the overall defensive strategy and helps keep the pressure on opponents from all angles. Plus, remember, the Cowboys have some key players coming up for contract extensions in the near future, guys like Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, and CeeDee Lamb, just to name a few. With all that talent, the Cowboys need to build a balanced team, and that includes making shrewd moves like this in free agency. Let's take a moment and compare this move to some other key signings in the NFL. When you look around the league, you see teams shelling out big money for high-profile players. Some of these deals have been flashy, but they come with a big risk. The Cowboys, on the other hand, were quietly patient during this free agency period, but Solomon Thomas could turn out to be one of the most underrated signings of the offseason. Many NFL experts were talking about the big moves made by other teams, but Dallas has been low-key working on bolstering their defense, especially on the interior. You can argue that this is one of the smartest moves for a team that's trying to make sure their defense stays as elite as possible without breaking the bank. Now, I know what you're thinking. What are the fans saying about this signing? Well, let me tell you, the Cowboys fanbase has been pretty excited. Some are cautiously optimistic about Thomas's ability to stay healthy and get back to his 2019 form, but there's also a lot of buzz about what he could bring to the locker room. We've all seen how the addition of players like Fowler energized the team last season. Thomas could be that extra spark for this defense that's ready to take it to the next level. But of course, there are some concerns about whether he'll truly live up to the hype. But considering the value of this deal, I think Cowboys fans should be excited about the potential. Solomon Thomas could be a key part of a much improved defensive line, and if he stays healthy, we might be looking at a true game changer. So, to sum it up, the Cowboys have made a quiet but impactful move by signing Solomon Thomas. This is a guy who could come in and immediately contribute to an already dangerous defense. With his versatility, youthful energy, and determination to prove himself, this could be one of those signings that makes a real difference down the line. Cowboys Nation, are you excited about this move? Do you think Solomon Thomas can live up to the hype and help push this defense to the next level? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis on everything Cowboys. Until next time, let's keep rooting for the boys.